Good afternoon everybody, everyone in Sparrowhawks and everyone in Buzzards. This afternoon's lesson is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be me teaching you how to draw an eye. This half term in art, Sparrowhawks and Buzzards are going to be looking at drawing portraits. And we're going to look first of all at all the individual parts of a face. We're looking at eyes, noses, mouths and ears, and then we're going to be looking at the shape of the face, and then everyone's going to draw one person. Buzzards, you're going to draw a portrait of one of the explorers that we're going to be learning about this term. And Sparrowhawks, you're going to be drawing a portrait of somebody else. We'll tell you that later on. I'm going to use the visualizer now and twist it around so you can see my my drawing pad in front of you. So you're going to miss my lovely face now. Hopefully you should all be able to see my eye. It's a bit scary that, looking back at you. Now, I want you to look either at the eye that's in front of you on this picture, or go and look in a mirror or in the camera of your device so that you can see your own eye. I want you to look really carefully at it. What colour is your iris? The iris is this colourful bit in the middle of your eye. My iris is a kind of bluey greeny colour. Can you see that my iris isn't all one colour? There are blue bits and green bits and bits that are lighter. Can you see that I can't see the whole of my iris? My eyelid covers the top and covers the bottom, so I can't see the whole of the shape. Have a look at the shape of your eye. Your eye is a kind of rugby ball shape. It's not round. But your eyeball is round and it's hidden behind the outside of your skin. Have a look at your face. Can you see that your eyes are about halfway down your head? If you look at my face, my eyes are about halfway down between the top of my head and my chin. Can you see your eyelashes? Where are they? I can see little eyelashes on my bottom eyelid and longer eyelashes on the top. Okay, we're going to start to draw your own eye now, and so I need you to make sure that you've got a pencil. I've got two pencils here. One is a 2B pencil and one is a 2H pencil. It doesn't matter if you haven't got those at home, you can just use a normal pencil, anyone will do. And I've got a rubber because I might like to change part of my picture as I go along. I haven't got a ruler though, because I don't need to draw any straight lines when I'm drawing this eye. Right, I'm going to start off with my H pencil because it's lighter and I might make some mistakes that I want to change. I can change it more easily if it's in an H pencil. So, first thing I'm going to do is draw the outline shape of my eye. Now I'm going to have to press a little bit harder so that you can see what I'm drawing. Now, can you see this eye is kind of rugby ball shaped. It's not round. It's quite similar to the shape of the eye above. Now, I've copied this line and I need to draw in this line, which is my eyelid line. You can stop this video and pause it while you draw each bit. The next thing I'm going to draw in is my iris, the colourful part of my eye. And if you remember from before, we can't see the whole circle. There's bits at the bottom and the top that are chopped off. In this picture, the iris isn't right in the middle of the eye. It's slightly over to one side. There's more of the white area here than there is here. So, draw my iris in. Can you see I drew it with little lines like this rather than one big curve, so I can be a bit more accurate. Now in the middle is the hole in your eye, the bit that enables you to actually see, and here it looks black and it's right in the middle of that iris. I think mine needs to be a little bit bigger. Okay. Now you might be able to see over here this little bit of skin. It's called your tear duct, and when you cry, that's where the tears come out of. It's like a little hose, and it's got a tiny hole in the middle of it. It's got this kind of pinky red colour. It's about like this. Now the next stage is for us to put the coloured lines into our eye, and you can do that either by using real coloured pencils or by using just your normal pencil but pressing harder or lighter. So I'm going to start at the hole in the middle, and I'm going to draw lines that go out to the outside of my iris. You might need to change the position of your hand so that when you draw you can get it to go exactly the right way really easily. Now I could leave it like that, but I don't think I'm very happy with it, so I'm going to add some shorter lines in between and fill in some of those white areas, because I definitely can't see any white parts of my iris. So go over and over. If you've got coloured pencils, you can make this look really beautiful. You could do the same colours as your own eye. I might use my B pencil now to add some much darker parts to it. You can add little patches of darkness. And then I need to colour in as dark as I can, as black as I can, the middle of my eye. Now sometimes people leave a tiny little white patch in part of the centre of their iris. It shows a little reflection, and if you look up on my eye here, there's a little white patch which is where the light is bouncing off, is reflecting off my eye. So you could, if you wanted, use a little rubber to rub out part of your lines that you've drawn already. Now I can see very clearly a darker line around the edge of my iris, so I'm just going to make sure that I draw that in. It doesn't have to be really black, just a bit darker than it was, and that helps you cover up some of the edges of those lines that you've drawn already. Now if you look carefully, you can see a dark line which is the crease of my eye. Now you're all lovely and young, and you probably don't have eyelids that are as saggy as mine, but this is the eye I'm copying, so I'm going to put it in, and that means I'm just going to make it a little bit darker over the top here. And if you look here, underneath where the eyelid touches my eyeball, it's also a little bit darker. So I'm going to shade using my 2B pencil, just to make it a line that's a little bit darker along there. Now, we're going to look at eyelashes. Sometimes people think that eyelashes come out of an eye like this. But they don't. That looks a bit like a squashed spider. And eyelashes come out of an eye a bit more like this kind of curve. And eyelashes aren't often very long and curly, not unless you're going out for an evening and you put fake eyelashes on, which are very long and curly. Don't imagine any of you will do that. So eyelashes normally are quite short like this, and they're not curly, they're quite straight. So I'm going to start in the middle, and if you look carefully, they're slightly curved and they don't come up to the top crease of my eyelash, of my lid. They're very close together, there's an awful lot of them. Awful lot of my eyelashes. So that's an awful lot of short eyelash lines. And as you see, they come down to this corner, they actually start to point downwards. And the bottom eyelashes, there aren't as many, and there's a bit of a gap here, and they come out exactly the same way from your eyelid, but not as many. Start at your eyelid line and draw away. There's a tiny little shadowy line along there. If you look very carefully, you can see some of the tiny little veins in my eye. And I'm going to draw those on. They help the blood reach my eye so it can be nice and healthy. So I'm going to very lightly draw those on. Now, I'm going to use my H pencil, which is light, but I'm going to draw them dark up here. Veins kind of look like this. It's a wiggly line with a little bit coming off it. Okay, I'm going to draw them lightly in. You might not be able to see them very well because I'm drawing them so faintly. Now, the top eyelid isn't completely white like it is here, and so I'm going to use my H pencil to just shade it in, and I'm going to use those cross-hatching lines like this to shade it in. Now look very carefully and see, are there any darker bits? I think this bit here, over here, is slightly darker, so I might use 2 layers of cross-hatching there to make it a little bit darker. I'm just going to look under my eye. There's also a bit of shading underneath my eye here. Right, once you've done one of your eyes, see if you can draw the other one opposite it. Remember that your tear duct here is always closest to your nose. So if you're drawing an eye with a tear duct, make sure that you draw the tear duct closest to your nose. I can't wait to see the pictures that you draw. Make sure you take a photo and send them into your classroom so that Mr. Lake and I can see. We can't wait to see what your pictures look like. It's been really nice to talk to you this afternoon. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Bye bye.